Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast known as Qualified Immunity. We're two people with years of experience within inside of the legal system. Discuss it, debate it, argue, fight, and ultimately try and fix the system. My name is Greg Engel. I was in a law enforcement capacity for almost 10 years, 9.5. My co-host name is Lucas Cohen. He is a third-year law student at a very prestigious university, and in a short amount of time will achieve his dream of finally being an assistant district attorney. Lewis, say hi, Lewis. Lucas, say hi to the people.
You're slurring your speech. Had a few too many.
yeah, right. I wish.
I know you don't have time for that.
I don't have time. My days go, and after it stops, it just keeps going.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, that being said, today we are going to talk about something that played out right before my eyes today. First off, if you know my wife, and you can attest to this, you know my wife. She is the sweetest person in the entire world.
Okay, so you're just always an ass. Like I just expect that.
Thank you.
But when your wife starts into it,
dude,
oh my gosh,
she was livid, livid.
I don't want to be a part of that.
Like I was sitting in the car, because I found a parking spot close to the front, and I'm sitting in the car just watching this entire thing, and
I'm so mad you did not video it.
I wanted to, but I had Wyatt was in the middle of having a major meltdown, and Kennedy was doing nothing but talking about Peppa Pig in the back, and I couldn't Meanwhile, because you don't expect that out of my wife.
Yeah.
You never expect that out of my wife.
Was it like you looked up and you thought, oh crap?
She was already has been aggravated. The last two, she hasn't been aggravated. It's just we're living in a hotel.
Yeah.
Where you live in a hotel with two kids and a dog.
It's hard to not just have it build up. And you know this, I keep going all day. Yeah. From the time I get up to the time I go to bed, it's you text me one night at 12:30. It's and then you're like, oh, you were asleep, weren't you? And I send you a picture from the patio. I'm nope, I'm still working. But you keep going. Her version of keep going is diaper bottle, diaper bottle, diaper bottle, bottle, diaper, diaper. I get it. She's literally dealing with other people's shit all day.
You're literally dealing with other people's shit all day.
Oh my gosh.
And my wife is not this anti-mask person.
Yeah.
She's not. My wife's okay, you want me to put a mask on to go shop at Walmart? I'll put a mask on to go shop at Walmart. My wife doesn't care. My wife is damn near apolitical.
Yeah. She's reasonable.
She's reasonable. But she's also one of those, if I'm not in a ballot, she asks me who to vote for. I think I'm voting for this person. And she did it one year. And and you and I both personally know the person throughout politics. Oh yeah, it was a statewide office.
Okay. And
she goes, I think I'm voting for this person. And I didn't say anything. I just went. She goes, should I not? I'm it's up to you. That's surprising.
I kind of want to ask who it was.
It was a governor's race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can take a guess.
Yeah. And it was just
yeah.
And she's well, well, you've met him. What do you think of him? No. No. But if my wife is, this is all being said to state, my wife is not politically motivated. My wife does not have any desire or remote interest in going in.
So it takes something to piss her off.
It takes a lot to piss her off. She's been married to me for almost a decade.
It must take a lot to piss her off.
My wife is a saint.
I'm constantly asking her, how are you not dead yet? How is she not killed yet?
Exactly. My wife is that person. My wife is the most amazing sainthood of a person you will ever meet. With that being said, so Walmart's national mask mandate happened today.
I've bought so many masks in anticipation for this. Like, I'm so ready. Like, I've got.
Well, and I'm gonna say the backstory to this. I did not get a hold of this. Somebody else got a hold of this and sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
The whole internal memo, and everybody's got one of these. The whole internal memo about masks.
Right.
Basically, it's a suggestion. Like, I'm just telling you. Basically, it's a suggestion.
Right.
Because if you have a religious or like pick an exemption, it's a suggestion.
Right. Well, you showed it to me. You sent it to me through text, I think, and it was religious exemptions, which anybody can claim a religious exemption. I mean, there's no way to prove that. There's absolutely no way to confirm that.
I'm religiously appalled by it.
Yeah.
I'm religiously appalled by it.
What question are you gonna ask?
Well, what religion are you? Oh, I can't wait for the first one that does the whole prove to me your disability.
Well, that's the other thing. Medical conditions, like they can't.
You can't ask that.
Yeah, that's
ADA.
That's a HIPAA issue.
Yeah, it's an American Disabilities Act issue too.
Yeah.
So, at what point are you sitting here going, okay, this is more a suggestion. It's not really a mandate. And in case you don't know this, in every Walmart I don't know if it's across the country. I'm going to assume it is because every Walmart I've been in with mask mandates, like if you're in a city that had a mask mandate, they did this at Walmart before they did it company-wide. There's only one door. Okay, supercenters. Let me qualify that with supercenter Walmart. There's only one door open. The grocery side door is the only door open.
Yeah. So
you have to enter and exit from the grocery side door. So there was a lady.
Which is asinine.
Social distance. We're social distancing.
If they really cared about that, they would have both doors open. You go in one door and out the other. But instead, they have everybody going in and out one door.
That's what I said. Make like grocery the entrance and GM the exit or something like that.
And I've told you this multiple times. Our local Walmart, the way they set up the barricades at the beginning of this whole COVID deal.
Oh, dude, it was a lawsuit when it happened.
They blocked off the crosswalk. You cannot get into the store without leaving the crosswalk. If somebody gets hit by a car, ready-made lawsuit settlement right there. Like, you're done.
That's insane. But I digress. My wife is super, super nice person, is totally anti-confrontational. She's walking up the door and she didn't think about it. She was running to get something and run back out. Right. I think this is my one day off.
Right.
That there's no such thing. Like,
yeah.
I have stuff to go do. We have stuff to get done. But she walks in, and this lady, instead of this Walmart associate, polite, because I watched this whole thing.
Yeah.
She's standing against the wall. She steps out and stands directly in front of her and says something to her. And I was like, because you couldn't really tell she was Walmart to begin with. I was like,
but she physically blocked her.
She physically blocked her from the entrance. And I almost got out of the car because I couldn't tell this lady was Walmart. She didn't have a vest on.
Ooh.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell. So she turns around, she walks back. I'm like, why is she walking back to me right now? Like, what's going on?
I really want to know, like, just not even like while you were there, just today, how many people walked up, didn't know she was Walmart, and said, "Get the hell out of my way."
From watching it for about 20 minutes, not that many.
Really?
No.
Nobody said anything.
There were some people talking some shit. Like I could see them talking.
But it was just compliance.
It was compliance because it was so unexpected for somebody to just step out and step right in front of you. Like you could see the visible shock on people's faces. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Like total shock and awe tactic, and it worked. And she's walking back to me.
See, my response to that is, "I'm sorry, can I help you?" Like
that is not my response to that at all.
Get out of my way.
My response to that would have been a little more colorful.
Yeah, well,
I probably would have been like, "Who the fuck are you?"
I mean, that would come up eventually.
That would have been moment one, second one. Who are you?
Yeah. And
like, I could finally see it that she had a name tag on.
Okay.
But it was on her upper right shoulder. So she's turning, and you don't see that name tag until she's in front of you.
Right.
And this is what turned so she blocks her. She comes back and Steph goes, "Hand me a mask." I was like, "Oh yeah." So we keep some in the car, and I have mine for work. Hands her a mask and is walking back. Like she's walking back towards the door. She gets to the door, and this lady steps out in front of her again. And I'm like, apparently, both times she stepped out in front of her, she did this. She grabbed the mask and pulled it down to talk to her. And she's like, I'm telling you, they were within 18 inches of each other.
What?
So we get this, and I was like, what is going on? And then something happens, and then I see my wife, she stops and turns around and is literally pointing and yelling. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Steph does not get mad over anything. Ever. Like, this woman does, like, the world could be ending, and she's going to be like, what are we making for dinner? Like, she's not.
Did you ever wonder if she was going to throw hands? Like, if she was actually going to get into a fist fight?
When that lady stepped towards her again, yes.
Ooh, man.
Dude,
Okay.
it was this moment of, like.
I'm so mad you didn't film it.
Well, and the problem is, it's like, I really want to call 1-800-Walmart and be like, hey, this happened. This is against your policy, number one. Two, this is a safety issue because if you do that in the wrong part of the country,
like here,
you
might get a weapon pulled on you.
There's a very real possibility. Excuse me, my allergies are killing me.
You got the COVID, didn't you?
I got the COVID. I wouldn't wear a mask. But I get back out and I'm like, what happened? Like, what in the hell is going on? And she goes, she started talking shit about how she didn't care about other people's safety and was selfish, and that she should have the mask with her.
This coming from a lady who literally just pulled her mask off to yell at you.
Yes. Then that's like, and I watched this entire thing for like the time Steph went in to the time she came back out and got in the car, and there was multiple people, and every single person she stepped out in front of. And there's the other barricade right there now. So you've got the wall of the building on one side, you've got the cattle guard on the other, because it's what it is. It's a cattle guard.
Yeah.
And this lady steps out in front of you and directly attack. Like, it was confrontational-esque.
Right.
On all the above. To every single person. It wasn't just Steph. It was every single person that did not have a mask. And I guess there was an older guy there, an older man in his 80s or 90s, that tried to walk in when Steph walked in and was like, hey, I'm just here to pick up a prescription. I don't have a mask. Yada, yada. And she's like, well, then you can't come in. And I'm like, I wish I would have known that, because I would have walked up and all of a sudden given him a religious exemption.
Right.
But this goes back to the entire, and I said this today. I'm not wearing a mask unless you're paying me.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Period. Because just wear it. It's for the better good. Just wear it. Fuck off. If it's going to make people confrontational to go in at Walmart,
yeah,
get bent.
Yeah,
like, I almost wore a shirt tonight that said, I thought this was America.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America. Well, at what point, in that situation, at what point are you willing to say, okay, the mask was for safety issues, but we're creating...
Like,
this is
if you want to wear
issue.
A mask, fine, I understand that. If you believe in the science of it, want to wear a mask, and believe that COVID is that deadly,
yeah, have
at it. I'm not going to stop you. With that being said, if you start making things, either this is the problem. Either you have to say everybody has to be in masks, or no. Right. When there's 19 exemptions to everything, it's just like taxes.
Yeah.
Like, we had this discussion in another group you and I are both in today about taxes, and it's just like, the problem is with the tax code is it's so complicated because there's so many exemptions.
Right.
There's exemptions and credits and this. Like,
right.
At this point,
which is why some people don't pay any taxes.
Well, and in all honesty, allergies, according to a lot of the lists I've seen, is an exemption to have a mask on.
I've seen asthma, which
how many people got diagnosed with childhood asthma?
A lot.
A lot. Especially in our generation, because they didn't know what something was. It was childhood asthma.
Yeah. Which
now this turns into an entirely different scenario of people are getting confrontational, which that Walmart employee, that Walmart associate was 100% out of line. Like, you can't block somebody. Like, I've arrested people at Walmart. And part of their big deal is not blocking people.
Even according to the memo that you sent me, from Walmart, I mean, she was violating policy.
100%.
That's not how you're supposed to handle that situation.
Well, and it's even if somebody walks in without an exemption, it is up to management.
Right.
You have to tell a member of management, which also turns into it is not the person standing there's job to deal with it.
Right.
That being said, how many people have asthma? How many people have breathing issues? How many people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? You either make the mandate for everybody and deal with it, or you don't. Now, this is going to drive into because I got a text message later that was like, that memo is only for, places that don't have a municipal ordinance for a mask. Like, that memo doesn't apply in, like, Oklahoma City.
Right, but it applies here.
It applies here.
Because we don't have it.
We don't have it. But the other side of that is, and there's an attorney you and I both know that makes a very compelling argument, and I think he's right, that there is no state law, at least in Oklahoma, or for the most part, anywhere, that allows a municipality to invoke that kind of ordinance. I happen to agree with it, because especially in Oklahoma, the research that he has done and how he has backstopped every single thing,
right?
Like, sued a municipality in federal court.
Yeah.
He's not going to, nobody's going to waste their time unless they have a valid argument.
Right.
Period. That's just, nobody's going to do that. So, at what point are we to this moment of, and did you see the fine in Oklahoma City for the first 2 offenses?
No.
$9.
$9.
For your first 2 offenses, it's $9.
They had to keep it low enough that people would actually.
And this is what I'm saying. People want to say, well, I've heard a lot of stuff. If Walmart wants to do it, it's private property. They can do it.
Right.
The method in which it becomes confrontational.
Yeah.
And the other side of that is the exemptions. How many exemptions are you going to make to where the point is it's not mandated, it's a suggestion? Right. Because Walmart's, I want to say I counted 11.
I take serious issue with the fine being $9. I take issue with it being a fine at all. I mean, if you're
I do too.
This is my problem with fines. If it's actually for public safety, act like it's for public safety. I mean, don't do this stupid, it's a $9 fine business, because people are intentionally going to not wear masks because the fine is so low.
Well, and this is the other side of this too. And all God honest. Most law enforcement agencies, I'm not going to say all, because somebody's going to find BFE, that ends up arresting somebody over a mask. Most law enforcement agencies, whether they say it or not, is not going to enforce it.
Right.
This law is without teeth.
Yeah.
Period. So the most you're going to do, like, I work in Stillwater, Oklahoma. They have a mask mandate. The police came out and said, this is unenforceable. We can't enforce it. And the flip side of that is, you know what happened? Nobody's wearing masks.
Yeah.
But what the city wanted them to do was, if you're in a business and you're the business and you see somebody without a mask, you were supposed to call the police, and they wanted the police to charge them with disorderly conduct and then trespass them.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. You're going to lose money from a customer over a mask, which, in all honesty, most people. Sorry. Like, do most people agree COVID exists? Yes.
Yeah.
Do people? Is there a vast amount of debate on how deadly it actually is? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But even the official, like, the CDC has screwed this up so bad, because they came out originally and said masks are not effective.
Oh, I know.
And now they're saying that they are effective. Nobody trusts the CDC on this issue.
Nobody trusts the CDC. Nobody trusts WHO. Nobody trusts. There's nobody left to trust.
Yeah, because they've either lied to us or they're too incompetent to actually figure out what's going on.
Because this is the problem. And I've heard this literally 50-50. I've talked to, okay, not 50-50 because it was 5. I've talked to 5 different doctors, MD medical professionals.
Right.
One said, I don't know. 2 of them said, well, the mask could help depending on if they can decide how it's actually transmitted. And the other 2 were like, unless you're wearing
N95.
N95. Well, one of them even went farther than that and said at some point it has to be not just a face covering, but an entire orifice covering. Because if it can get like basically what they were talking about was an entire virologist style respirator,
like a hazmat suit.
Yeah, which nobody
has.
Nobody had. I mean,
do you?
Yeah, it's a long story.
I don't want to know. Oh man.
But you run in this moment of even people that I can go talk to within inside of circles who are doctors.
Yeah.
Are like, maybe not. We don't know.
Well, even the boxes of masks that you get are now say not effective to protect against COVID-19.
And I understand why people are saying it protects against sneezing and coughing
but those aren't symptoms.
No. If you had it, if you were asymptomatic, like I understand the argument.
Okay.
If you were asymptomatic and you coughed on somebody or sneezed, or I get it. I get where they're coming from. But I still am over here going, unless to most common people, and I've had this argument all day long, which is part of why we're talking about this, because it set me off. It set me off because of what happened to Steph.
Yeah. Well, you and I have been having this conversation for weeks.
For weeks. Because it's going, if you get an N95 mask, at minimum, let's say that's the standard.
Yeah.
Which, for the most part, was.
Yeah.
Especially the day the world shut down. Also was the day Breonna Taylor was murdered, but nobody's talking about that except for us. But you get this moment of time of like, are they mandated or are they not mandated? And if they're mandated, do we get to the level of a properly sized, properly fitted N95 mask for everybody? Because like Norman's ordinance is door to door.
Yeah.
Like from your door, from the time you leave your house to the time you get back home, you have to have a mask on. People aren't going to do that.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've seen there aren't enough N95 masks to go around. I mean, there's just not. It's not possible.
I had people sending me pictures of closets full of them today.
I don't know where to get them.
I don't know. I can go get you one now. I know where some are, but
the other thing is they're okay. So I'm working at a law firm.
Yeah.
I told you about the guy who told me to like mask up when I go to the courthouse, which, by the way, he's not really my boss.
This is a serious question. I've been in that courthouse since this thing started.
Yeah.
I don't see a judge wearing one.
Oh, no.
I don't see counsel wearing one.
Originally, it was required that you have a mask on to go into the courthouse.
Yeah.
Nobody did it. I mean, I did it like the first 2 times, and then I saw none of the judges are wearing them.
No.
And I thought, okay, so number 1, you're either an asshole, or number 2, you're like, this isn't a serious thing. Like, we're not actually doing this. The part that I find
latter.
Yeah.
The latter.
The part that I find hilarious, the guy who told me to wear a mask the other day.
Wasn't wearing one?
He was wearing one, but I've thought about it. Every time that I've seen him wearing one, it's been the exact same mask.
That's the other thing.
Which makes it completely ineffective.
It makes it completely ineffective.
If you're willing to actually suggest that it's doing its job, that means it has COVID in it, and you shouldn't wear it more than once.
Exactly. Like, if you want to wear a mask, wear one.
Yeah.
By all means, wear one. If private businesses want to mandate it,
right, then
mandate it. There's my catch to this. Mandate it.
Right.
Don't let me come up with one of 700 religions and call it a religious exemption and be like, all right, you're good. Do you see? Like,
Yeah.
This at some point it has to be, because even when I go talk to doctors, and I'm gonna figure out a way to start sharing like screenshots, because I have a text message from a doctor that was, I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Literally verbatim. And he went on to say, hey, they might work, they might not work. Nobody really knows. And I'm like, okay. Because I actually wanted a legitimate opinion on this, not whatever. It's like that running joke. Why hasn't COVID affected the Amish yet? Because they don't have TV.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Like I've seen that from like 5 different sources, and I'm like, well, you're right. I mean, at what point though does this become more panic than it does pandemic? It's serious.
I think we're there.
We have to be there.
People are losing their ever-loving minds.
What's the last number you saw? 99.3% survival rate?
Ridiculously high for what's going on.
Like, the seasonal flu has a higher fatality rate than this does. Like, are we going to start? And everybody's, well, there you go, licking the boot again. No, I'm not. I'm doing the exact. Well, you're being too conservative. It's not conservative at all. It's the entire theory of, do the statistics match the reaction?
No.
Just like law.
No.
Just like the law. Do statistics of this crime happening match the reaction of this law and the punishment it comes with? No. This is becoming more of a panic than a pandemic. That being said, everybody has their own opinion on where this came from, how China handled it, etc., etc., etc. The problem is we have 2 bumbling idiots. One of them is president, the other one wants to be, and neither one of them can pull their head out of their ass long enough to try and figure this out. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, so I have a question. Do you think the masks are actually being mandated for health purposes or for psychological purposes? I mean, to make people more comfortable.
I think it's to make people more comfortable. I think there's enough people screaming, they work, they work, they work, they work.
Right.
That it doesn't matter what the facts are.
Doesn't matter what the science actually says.
And the other part of this is, though, you have media that is hyping this out of this world.
Yeah.
Like we are at a whole nother level of hype.
Yeah.
And once you get to that level of hype, I don't want to say like mob justice takes over, but it's almost mob justice.
That's where we're at.
Like, it's when you start saying, and I've seen this comparison all week, stop comparing this to people ratting on Nazis, like Nazis having people rat on the Jews. This is not even in the same realm of, like, it's just stop. I think it's, these hotlines though are hilarious because they literally set up all these hotlines to call when you saw somebody not wearing a mask under mandate.
Yeah.
Because 911 could no longer handle the call volume.
Yeah.
You know where that line is going when you call and report somebody for not wearing a mask? To the Department of Nobody Gives a Shit.
I haven't actually taken the time to prank call any of those.
I don't have time. I can't tell you who has them and who doesn't.
I can tell you when New York set up their little text line.
Oh, yeah. It was inundated with a lot of very, very inappropriate pictures for the governor.
I have a friend that actually sent in some pictures of nipple rings from from their mayor. Is it their mayor? Governor. Yeah, governor. That has nipple rings showing through his polo.
But you've got this moment of time of, what do we do about this? Because if you argue it and you debate it, by God, Karen and Dylan are going to walk out of their mansion with rifles again.
Oh, did you see they've been charged?
Did you also see that 2 days ago, the governor of Missouri said if they got charged, he'd pardon them?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. Like, it's a banana republic. It legitimately.
Welcome to socialism. This is how socialism always goes in the Americas. It's a banana republic.
It's a banana republic. But we really are stuck at this moment of like, I'm totally going to gripe about this. The entire reason I don't want to wear a mask is 100% selfish, and somebody's going to clip this later and be like, see, he proved it, he admitted it. No, it itches. And it makes this do this.
I haven't. I haven't had that problem yet. Like I haven't noticed any itching, but
the mask pushes my mustache hair up into my nose. Oh, dude! I'm like walking through one or wherever. I'm like, finally just rip the damn thing off.
Which, if you're touching your face,
yeah.
What's the point?
And this is why they go, well, then shave. No.
That's my response to the whole mask up thing. If it's like a corporation, like a private business, that's fine. Like if you want me to wear one, I'll wear one. It'll be a horribly offensive mask. I mean,
it will be.
I've bought several. I brought one. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
I mean, it's not offensive. It's just,
Oh my god! Would you? Hey, fix it. If you're gonna show it off to the world.
Yeah. Can you read that? I have to actually put it on.
Oh, he's putting it on, and this is how socialism.
Oh my goodness.
Socialism starts. Oh my god. I'm not
gonna wear that.
Oh my god.
Not today, anyway. I also have one that looks like an alien face hugger. I'm excited to wear that one. That one's gonna be fun.
I just want a V for Vendetta, like Guy Fawkes, entire mask.
Do you want me to buy one for you? I've seen several.
I'll wear it.
Ooh, okay, I'll get you one.
I work in Stillwater. Like, I bought a normal plain, like black sport, like looks like lace underwear. Oh, dude, I pulled it out and Steph goes, "Does this go in your face or your ass?" I'm like,
well, I've seen photos of people wearing underwear on their face. So
somebody said in our group earlier, Steph should have taken her bra off and stuck it over her face. It would have been so Walmart-esque. It would have been glorious.
I have asked a family member to crochet me one, just like the loosest crochet pattern that they can find.
Somebody we know used an onion sack.
Just like loose burlap.
No, like
like
the stretchy orange.
Almost fishnet stuff.
Yeah, it was basically fishnet, and went on Facebook Live walking through a Walmart with this onion mask on. I'm like, sweet Mother Mary, Jesus. What do you want me to say to this? That's the thing too. It's wear a mask. We're not going to standardize what you should wear, but wear a mask. You need a face covering. People are going to start screwing with people all day long. We're so far past pandemic into panic. Like, this is my opinion. My honest to God opinion. If this was still a deadly, deadly, deadly pandemic that we thought it was in March, you would still have the amount of traffic on the roads and in the stores that you had in March.
Which, unfortunately, we don't.
Which was... you just like not having anybody on the road.
I do.
I'm just saying.
There were like 3 or 4 weeks there where I would just do 90, 95 everywhere.
I would never have done that.
That I know that's typical for you. But, I drive on a lot of 2 lanes, so.
I was only to work the other day and did that. But it really does. It turns into going, if this was as serious as everybody thought it was, you would still be in lockdown.
Yeah.
Granted, I can make an entire
and that's
political argument that lockdowns are unconstitutional too, but.
And that's my argument for people that want to mandate me wearing a mask. My response is, if you're worried about getting sick,
stay home.
Go home.
Instacart's a thing for a reason.
Well, and people in my office are all worried about it. They can work from home. I mean, a lot of our work you can just do from home, as long as you have a computer and an internet.
I really wish I could do that. I've never had a job where I could work from home.
I can't work from home. I mean...
Yeah, but there's extenuating circumstances to that. Oh, we have so far crossed the line into panic that it's. And do I think there's political aspects to it? Yes. Who handled COVID better? The president, or the guy who was not president?
I'm pretty sure Biden stayed in his basement because.
Biden stayed in his basement because his handler said if he kept talking, he would lose the election in a land. Like, it would be Reagan in 84.
I actually heard that, like, a couple weeks before we went on lockdown. Somebody said it's Biden's to lose, and the best thing he can do is stay in his basement.
Yes.
And that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. That was one of his aides.
Best excuse. Oh, you heard it too?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was one of his aides.
You heard it too.
Was caught on a hot mic that said, it's his election to lose, and the more he talks, the more he loses. The best thing he can do is stay in his basement.
Yeah. Which has always been true of Biden. I mean, Just shut your mouth.
Dude, I honestly feel sorry for him.
I would if it wasn't so dang funny.
I mean, it's funny, but like, think of like my parents are that age, and it's like,
Yeah, but they're
they're not to that level, but it's still that moment of like, man, you have ran for president. What is this, number 3?
Something like that.
You're getting played right now.
Yeah.
Like that's elder abuse. Trump's just.
But he likes it.
Who? Biden getting played?
Yes.
I'm not sure he knows.
That's possible.
Like I legitimately am not sure Biden has any idea what's going on. And Trump the other day walks out and calls World War I, and World War II 2 beautiful wars.
The only person that should ever open their mouth anymore is JoJo. Like the other two obviously are not capable of abstract thought.
Oh my God! Somebody just commented. The judges are also 6 feet away from public seating areas. No, they're not.
Not in this county.
Not in 90% of the South. They're within 18 inches of council.
I mean, there may be places that they are, but they're not here. They may be in more urban.
Yeah, maybe. Not in Oklahoma County.
Cleveland County, maybe.
Maybe. It's like Oklahoma County, it's not 6 feet from council to bench.
In places like Norman, where they've gone all out, they might be, but up here, no.
No.
Absolutely.
You were close. Like, we're sitting, what, 3 feet away from each other right now?
About 4 feet, maybe.
Like, they're closer in that courtroom.
Yeah.
Especially when all counsels are in there and all the defense attorneys are all. I mean, literally, you have 2 huge cliques of people.
I do find it hilarious. I've been to several courthouses where the court clerk's office, you walk in and there's a big, clear plexiglass thing.
Yeah.
But you go into the judge's office and they're like, "Oh yeah, come in, sit down," and there's like no barrier.
Yeah, no,
like the judges are not protected at all.
No.
And they don't care.
They don't care.
They just don't care.
I guess once you made to that point, you don't have to care anymore.
I mean, you and I have had this discussion before. Judges are basically their own kings.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean,
they'll never lose an election.
They can do whatever they want,
and they will get reelected every single time by doing it.
All they have to do is issue an order.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we've seen that in Oklahoma. The Supreme Court has issued orders that basically we're supposed to close down every courthouse. Didn't actually happen.
I think they should go back to it.
Closing down the courthouse?
Yeah. If you think it's that serious, close down courthouses.
Yeah, I agree.
Close down every piece of government. And don't put a freaking exemption. Yeah. As I'm looking at you, Mayor Dolt. That
you're welcome for that name.
Oh, I legitimately the mayor of Oklahoma City wore a mask through like a 6-hour Zoom meeting where they ended up passing a mandate that Oklahoma City had to have masks, but exempted all government buildings. If you don't think you're getting played yet, you're not paying attention. Like, how are people not in an uproar over this?
You know why he did that? Because those people vote.
I don't care why he did it.
And they all voted for him.
Well, yeah. Who ran against him?
Yeah.
Like, I think there was one girl that ran against him. That was it. Like, how? That's another thing that blows my mind. How do you get? And I bet I could find another example of this somewhere else around the country. In a major metropolitan area, you basically get one person running for office.
Well, my opinion is that the Oklahoma political system is one of the most corrupt in the entire country.
Any political system, like we were talking today, like where if we wanted to move, would we move?
Yeah.
And like, it was like Montana, Nevada,
Idaho.
I said Idaho, and I got like my people jumped down my throat for it.
What?
Yeah, apparently Idaho smells, and I'm like, I don't remember it smelling. I'd love to. I want a house on Lake Tahoe with about 150 acres. Well, I'm never gonna get it, but
it's not enough acreage for me.
If it was on Lake Tahoe, I could deal with it. At that point, I could deal with it.
Idaho is like Montana, but cheaper. I mean,
That's what I think.
Is that really what you said?
Yeah, I'm like, Idaho and Montana are not that much different. One's cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's just, you get this moment of like, where could we move? Anywhere. So there's a whole new thing of catching cameos of him in the background.
Oh, is that a new thing?
Yeah.
Well, he almost just crawled into my lap and I had to stop that.
But we are stuck at this moment of like, we are so over panicked about, oh my God, the election. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. What are we going to do? No. Ah! I forgot to stick this up here earlier. I'm going to do it now. Oops. Sorry, I forgot. I got distracted by technology. I'm like, something's missing. What's missing? Oh, that.
Oh, yeah.
But okay, do you think that the ordinances are remotely enforceable if they were to be enforced?
Well, what do you mean by enforceable? Like, are you asking me if it's constitutional?
No, I'm asking.
Can you actually go around and write people tickets for this?
And win in court?
Well, when people ask me about their speeding tickets, usually my response is, if you actually want to fight it, just show up.
Yeah.
I mean, is a cop going to show up for a $9 ticket?
No. Cops.
When they could easily be making more money just outrighting more tickets during that time.
Or asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or asleep is a big thing. Or asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, I never directly told somebody that I wasn't going to show up to court, but I got stuck in a couple spots where I had to write a ticket.
Yeah.
And I intentionally did not show up to court.
Yeah.
I intentionally made it perfectly clear that they should show up to court.
I'm so proud of you.
There's just some shit that you're going to write them for that, right?
As you're writing it out, now your court date's on this day. You should probably go to that.
That was a lot of what got said.
Now,
that's a lot of. There was
a
a story one day of a guy speeding to take his kid to the hospital.
Yeah.
And it's somebody else was there, therefore supervisors were there, and it was an excess amount of speed.
Yeah.
There was a reason, and I was like, this is your court date. I will be on vacation. You should probably go to court. I'm on vacation. I was sitting at home playing Xbox. Writing a ticket for somebody speeding and take their kid to the hospital is not.
I just realized how much nicer it is when you, like, as a cop, when you tell people to go to court. It's so much nicer than when I tell them to be at court. Like, when I tell them, it's like, please just be there. For my sake and for your sake.
Please, for the love of God, just show up.
When you tell them, it's like, if you go,
Like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like, come on, show up to court.
But is this enforceable? I don't think cops are going to show up to court to actually, make the ticket stick. Are they going to write the ticket if it's worth $9?
I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
maybe that was the point of making the fine so low.
Hey, we did it.
Yeah.
Yay. I really am. Like, I'm about to start having a very religious excuse.
Do you... I think this was back when Mary Fallon was governor.
Oh, God.
Do you remember they intentionally lowered the fine for speeding tickets because they wanted officers to feel better about writing
tickets?
tickets?
Know if that was... I know what you're talking about. It might have been...
I think it was Mary Fallon, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong.
It might have been 17. It might have been Mary Fallon. Because they lowered speeding 1 to 10 in Oklahoma used to be like, for the highway patrol to ride it. I want to say it was like $220.
I don't know.
It was like right around $200.
The last speeding ticket I got was 2014, and it was, I want to say it was like $199. I think.
That sounds about right. Was it 1 to 10?
On paper, yes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, hey, I used to play that game too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd also write your actual speed in the notes in case you fought it in court. But
Dick. You dick.
But that's one of the.
I will say,
And you get like copy page number 5 of that copy, so you have no idea what I wrote in the notes.
I will say, I have for clients before pulled speeding tickets, and what was in the notes was absolutely hilarious because it was obvious how that stop went. Like they were complete.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Complete bitch.
Oh, I have literally wrote "bitch" in the notes and circled it, or offered to blow me in the notes and circled it. The amount of times I have had sexual favors offered on a traffic stop, and they were 100% serious.
My God.
Would blow your mind. What was I even saying now? Oh, they took it speeding from 1 to 10 over, written by the Highway Patrol in Oklahoma. They took it from, I want to say it's close to $200, and made it a flat $100 even.
Yeah.
The problem with that becomes because they wanted officers to feel better about writing them. Guess what happened? Nothing. I know one person since that happened that got a 1 to 10 ticket written.
Really?
Yeah, nobody writes 1 to 10s. No.
Well, that's true.
Nobody ever has written 1 to 10s. Nobody will ever write 1 to 10s.
There are only 2 jurisdictions that I know that I've actually been to in the state of Oklahoma that write 1 to 10 tickets. And you know where one of them is.
I was like, is one of them up north?
Yeah.
Yeah. They will write 1 to 10s.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly will write 1 to 10s. And yeah. Like, make their living off writing 1 to 10s. Sir, you're doing 7 miles an hour over, driving by we too. Like, yeah. Yeah. But no, we it's so distracting by speeding tickets. We're past the point of panic.
Yeah.
Like, if you actually believe this is that serious, shut everything down again. Not that you have the constitutional authority to do it. However, nut up or shut up.
Stop half-assing it.
Stop half-assing it. You don't have enough ass to make it a big enough deal. Like, you have to either commit it and run with it and shut it all down again and understand that the economic impact of what you're doing
Could be catastrophic.
will be catastrophic. Like, will be catastrophic.
I'm really worried now we're actually giving people ideas.
Look, if the Democrats want to sabotage the economy, I don't know what they're doing.
They already have.
Like,
well, it wasn't just them.
It was both sides already have. Like, and go drive around town. Go find a town near you that's got 50 to 70,000 people in it. Seriously.
Yeah.
Drive around it. And I want you to start looking at empty businesses.
Yeah. I mean,
there's almost an entire strip mall in the town you work in.
Yeah. I know.
Across from the car lot.
Yeah.
It's almost empty.
Yeah. Well, I know several businesses that have closed down. They closed down originally temporarily, and then after a while they posted notes on their doors and said, we're not opening back up.
Applebee's did it.
There are a lot of them in this town.
Like, it's one of those. That strip mall across from the Chevy dealership is almost empty.
Yeah.
And the funny part is, it started with the company my wife works for. Like, she got laid off. So it's a drastic economic impact that I don't want to qualify this with, what's a life worth? Because that gets in a big moral theological argument that we don't have time, nor the energy, nor the effort to do in 3 hours, much less the next 10 minutes. But
I do love that people say you can't put a value on human life, and I think life insurance companies do it all the time.
Yeah, they do it all the time.
There are people that's literally their job.
But at what point does it become okay if the fatality rate was 20% instead of 0.2? You know what I mean? At what point does the fatality rate have to get high enough that?
Yeah.
I'm telling you this right now. The public is not scared of this. They're annoyed by masks.
most of them are not scared of it. There are a few who are incredibly vocal about it.
Yes,
they're not in the
most
majority.
most people do not give two shits. Because you know what happens when you walk into Walmart with a mask on, you get past the first door. You take your mask off. Hell, I'll even have one in my hand, and I'll be like, it's not going over my ears.
Yeah.
And the second I walk in the door, I'm taking it off. Like I would do that in Stillwater because it was.
Now, when my face hugger mask comes in, I'll probably wear it all the time.
I just at this point, I'm like. At this point, I'm doing it intentionally.
Yeah.
I have a religious exemption. Yeah. I just after seeing somebody come at my wife like that.
Yeah.
You just fuck you guys. It's over now. Whatever little like compliance you had with me to begin with is now over because there are days my wife has pissed me off and I'm like, I'm gonna go make her mad because husbands and wives do this all the time. They do it.
Yeah.
I can't make my wife mad, and you said it earlier. I'm a raging, walking jackass, and I can't make. It's impossible for me to like just be like, shouldn't have that push button issue. And anytime I think she's got one, and I start to use it, like, nah, she just stops and looks at me like, okay, like cannot rattle that woman.
Yeah, she knows you too well.
And now I'm just like, what are we doing? Oh, we're past the point of pandemic. We're into panic. And if we're still in a pandemic, start acting like it again. Because I liked the empty drive-thrus and I liked the no speed limits. I'm not going to stop going out and living my life.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I miss the good old days.
Not at a 99.2% survival rate. Yeah, I'm not going to stop living my life. Good Lord. Oh, well, we've rambled on about masks for almost an hour.
That was a fast hour.
I know, wasn't it? We gotta find something else to talk about this to say. See, it's like this, stuff like this, and then like Breonna Taylor, like I could do a Breonna Taylor episode every single day.
Yeah.
And it's like same thing happens. Oh, that being said, oh no. Oh.
Does that mean we're done?
Why? Because I yawned?
Yeah.
Oh no, we still have the after show.
Freaking after show.
For the podcast, for the initial podcast, Lucas, tell people where the singular place they can find you on social media.
Twitter at the Lucas Cohen. Do you want me to stop mentioning Keybase?
Nobody knows what Keybase is.
I am on Keybase.
He's on Keybase. If you know what Keybase is, I'm stunned that you're listening to this podcast. Just say.
Lucas_Cohen. That's
I
me.
knew it was you because the underscore.
Yeah. I like underscores. If you could see the way I save files at home on my computer.
No, I don't.
It would drive you nuts.
It would give me anxiety. Because with what you do with underscores, I do with dots.
Well, see, it used to be you couldn't do that because it would mess up the file path. But
oh, I know.
Yeah.
Let me figure out how to
that's why I use
backdoor the file. There was a way around it.
I use so many redneck workarounds, like it's
ridiculous.
Yeah. I have not forged, but I have doctored documents in Paint before.
Yes, I've done it too.
Microsoft Paint.
I've done it too. That being said, you can follow me on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and I'm missing one. I always miss one. LinkedIn. What?
Mr. Worldwide. I can't decide on a nickname for you. Like, I've run through so many nicknames, but that one just keeps coming up because you are literally everywhere.
I'm everywhere. And I don't ever stop. I still like the one you texted me earlier.
Dude upstairs.
The dude upstairs. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and TikTok at Greg J. Ingle. I'm about to just put the V in there because you screw me up on it every time. At Greg J. Ingle, GregJingle. Go follow me on especially Twitter and TikTok and Insta. You add me on Facebook and you're going to be standing in line with the other 140 people that's added me on Facebook. Because I just don't mess with it. I don't. You get on Facebook and it's nothing but politics and bullshit, followed by bullshit and then politics. And I'm like, whatever. I'm done. Ugh. What?
If into the comment section you go, only pain will you find. There's somebody else on here that likes underscores.
Oh my god! I hope I officiate y'all's wedding.
I don't. That's a bit forward.
Sorry, not sorry. Hey, I'm an ordained minister.
Oh, these comments. Okay.
I'm still an ordained minister.
That is.
That's what. Say your piece.
Surprising.
I don't remember what church it's for. But I know I have the legal right to marry and bury in Oklahoma.
Okay, we're done.
Follow us on social, guys. Like and subscribe on our YouTube. YouTube's the one I forget. I'm literally sitting here looking at YouTube and I didn't forget YouTube.
Hey, YouTube, we're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube too. But the podcast, it's on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Overcast. It gets streamed on Facebook, on our Facebook page. It gets streamed on YouTube. Go like it, subscribe it. 10,000 followers on our 10,000 followers subscribe to our podcast by my birthday, November 13th. Our Christmas party will be in Vegas, and I will personally fly 50 people out to it. There you go. 10,000 subscribers to our podcast, and I can see the metrics in the app between all different platforms, Stitcher, Spotify. I can see it all. I can see what countries are doing it. I can see everything. I don't care where in the world you are, but if we have 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to pick 50 people to fly to our Christmas party in Las Vegas. With that being said, I'm going to end this the way I always end this, with my quote from my favorite music festival, the entire world, which happens every year, except this one. Thank you, COVID. From Tomorrowland. Live today, love tomorrow, and unite forever. Till Valhalla, guys.